Was a surprise visit by sheriff deputies and parole agents who entered the Santee home of Anthony Gross, a sex offender with a long rap sheet.
Rape a spouse, sexual penetration by force, assault to commit sodomy.
Gross sat quietly with a GPS tracker strapped to his ankle as deputies searched his home for any parole violations.
Anything has changed right now? Is it time to tell us?
Oh, no, nothing's changed.
They found marijuana that belonged to his adult daughter. She got a ticket.
It's a little bit amount, but it is a citable offense.
Then deputies noticed these now wrapped up drinking glasses that picture naked women, sexual images that parolee sex offenders can't have.
Because of that, they are going to revoke his parole.
Gross, who violated parole once before for removing his GPS, was silent as he was handcuffed and walked out to the waiting patrol car. His daughter was enraged.
Those aren't even his!
But the problem is it's under the same household.
Yeah, and I pay rent. Okay. That's my room. That's my personal property.
This sweep was not in reaction to the murder of Chelsea King. Planning started 2 months ago.
The big goal is to make sure the community is safe.
Deputy Bo Robertson's plan was to check on 60 of the 80 sex offenders who live in Santee. At this apartment complex, Sunset Trails, the team is visiting 3 separate units, including 2 right next to each other. A sex offender lives here, and another sex offender lives right here. They didn't find any violations in the complex. At another location, deputies found disturbing writing.
Why do you keep journals on all the women you've had sex with?
The journals, which belong to a man convicted of indecent exposure, are creepy.
All the women he's had sex with and the positions they did and all that kind of stuff, so that's kind of a red flag.
But the journals did not violate parole conditions.
He's in compliance with everything. He's got enough common sense to know that.
Using a phone, agents tracked the location of this parolee jailed for child porn.
I collected and redistributed on the internet.
The team caught up with him outside, then checked his home.
Anyone inside, come to the door. Anyone inside, Sheriff's Department.
Inside, they rummaged through kitchen cabinets, then scanned the DVDs.
And making sure they're not any pornographic items.
A black and white movie popped up.
Judy Garland.
Then a clothed picture of a younger girl that caused concern until deputies determined it was a family friend. How are you doing on parole so far?
So far, so good.
The parolee agreed to talk as long as we hid his face and said he knows these kinds of surprise audits are the price for his bad choices.
I opened myself up to this thing, and I think it's fair, and I think that it will protect the community.
Exactly the goal of the deputies and parole agents involved. For the I-Team, I'm Lauren Reynolds, 10 News.
Now, most of the sex offenders were found to be compliant during the 4-hour sweep this morning. There was one arrest, and that was the one we showed you of Anthony Gross.
New information.
Surprise check on sex offenders revealed a parole violation that led to an arrest today. 10 News reporter Lauren Reynolds went along on the operation meant to keep you safer.
Anyone inside, come to the door. Anyone inside, Sheriff's Department.
Sheriff deputies and parole agents showed up unannounced at the homes of sex offenders, including Anthony Gross of Santee.
Rape a spouse, sexual penetration by force, assault to commit sodomy.
Deputy Bo Robertson briefed his teammates on the charges that landed Gross in prison, then on parole. Gross sat quietly with a GPS strapped to his ankles as deputies searched his home. They found these drinking glasses, now wrapped, that depict naked women, sexual images Gross can't have.
Because of that, they are going to revoke his parole.
Gross was quietly handcuffed, then walked to a waiting patrol car. His irate adult daughter screamed at the deputies.
Those aren't even his!
But the problem is it's under the same household.
Yeah, and I pay rent. Okay. That's my room. That's my personal property.
This sweep was not in reaction to the murder of Chelsea King. Planning started 2 months ago.
The big goal is to make sure the community is safe.
At another house, the deputies found disturbing writing, journals from one man that read like sexual conquests.
All the women he's had sex with and the positions they did and all that kind of stuff, so that's kind of a red flag.
The team took a written record of the journals but did not find the sex offender in violation. In all, 60 sex offenders were checked.
The operation took 4 hours. In the end, most people ended up compliant. There was just one arrest. I'm Lauren Reynolds, 10 News.
The sex offender sweep was not in reaction to the murder of Chelsea King.